When we think of remodeling a bathroom, we usually think about the biggest bathroom in our place, but powder rooms are just as important to consider to spruce up your home. Rebath & More's president, Jon Witmer, is here to explain how to make a small space look fabulous. Now, Jon, I have been to folks' homes, and I've remarked about how lovely their powder rooms are. So how can, maybe me, make my powder room as fabulous as the rest of the house?
Right. Well, first it's important to think about the space is so small, so each element in that space is critical to the overall design. So less is more is something to keep in mind. You don't want to put a lot in there to create your style,
Right.
but each element is critical. And I think two of the most overlooked areas are probably lighting and mirrors. So for lighting, for instance, don't be afraid to use a pendant light or a mini chandelier.
So pretty.
Yeah, and for a mirror, you can use anything really. You can use something you find at an antique store or home design store. It doesn't have to be necessarily for a powder room, and you can add a pretty neat element of style that way.
That's a really good idea to really make it look classy. What about just those classic fixtures, the sink, the toilet? What should we think about there?
Well, it's very tempting to just go out and buy the least expensive thing you can, stick it in the powder room and kind of move on. But you have to remember, this is the bathroom your guests are going to use. They're not going to see your master bath or your kid's bathroom, but they're going to be using the powder room.
That's a really good point.
Spend a little bit more, get something that's stylish. And also, when you spend for something that's stylish, typically the quality of that fixture is better as well. So it's going to function better, more reliably, which is important for guests.
Yeah.
Now, in particular with the toilet, get an ADA or comfort height toilet while you're doing that as well. It'll be more comfortable for the widest age range of guests that way.
Okay.
I like to see pedestals in the powder room versus a cabinet because it just gives you that much more space. It opens up the room a little bit more.
Sure.
And typically you don't need storage space in a powder room anyway.
Yeah, and you mentioned mirrors can be a great way to kind of open up the space too. What about color or any other accessories?
Yeah, with color, just remember that a lighter color is going to make it seem brighter and more spacious. Now, you certainly can go with a dark color, but just understand it will make the space seem smaller. So most powder rooms are small, so typically I recommend staying with a light color.
Okay.
Now, you can also use wallpaper in a powder room, which is a little bit different. You can't necessarily do that in another room where there's steam concerns, but in a powder room, don't be afraid to use wallpaper to add a splash of color, a little bit of style.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Also, a lot of moldings, particularly if you have tall ceilings. Don't be afraid to put some crown molding in. It adds a touch of class, and it also brings the eye level down so it doesn't feel quite like a phone booth.
Very good. I mean, the pictures you're showing on the screen look so pretty. It looks very inviting, like I could go hang out in there and be really comfortable. Any promotions going on this month?
Yes, we actually have a great promotion this month. We understand that this time of year people are spending a lot of their discretionary income on gifts or on entertaining.
Yeah.
So we have some awesome payment plans that you can get this project started now and defer payments without interest for a long time, and we'd be happy to touch on those details if you have us out for an estimate.
Very good. And then how do we reach you, or how do we stop in and check out what you have to offer?
We're at 245 Centerville Road, just off the Route 30 exit in Lancaster, or you can call us at 299-4822, make an appointment, and we can come to your home. We'll bring all the samples you need, and you can pick it out in the comfort of your own home.
Very good. I'm going to encourage folks to follow you on Facebook and Twitter because you guys send out some really cool things on social media. Thanks so much, Jon.